And joining us now is former deputy head of assessment in the Israeli military intelligence, Jacques Neriah. Jacques, what do these repeated tunnel discoveries tell us about the scale of smuggling operations along the Syria-Lebanon border right now? Is this something that is still an issue for the state of Israel? Obviously, we've seen great anger from the Lebanese government over Hezbollah's involvement in this war. But is there any attempt, you could say, on the part of the Lebanese military to deal with this?
Well, I don't believe that the Lebanese military have any leverage on Hezbollah. Quite the contrary. I think that they are afraid of Hezbollah. They're afraid to engage in any action against Hezbollah because this would bring immediately to the end of the Lebanese army, because most of the units, 60% of the units, are Shiites, and those Shiites will not fight against their brothers. As far as Syria is concerned, this is definitely the source of weapons during the last year. The last 16 months, weapons were smuggled from Syria, because at the time of the Bashar Assad regime, Hezbollah was very, very present in Syria and has dug its fortifications inside Syria, huge tunnels for long-range missiles. And right now, the situation is quite the reverse, because the al-Shara regime is very much anti-Hezbollah, and lately the Syrians have deployed 4 divisions along the 370 kilometers of borders between Lebanon and Syria, with the clear intention to just hit Shiite concentrations where you have former Syrian soldiers have been engaged and recruited by Hezbollah. These centers are the centers of activities against the Syrian regime, and the Syrians will not tolerate that. So Hezbollah, in fact, is fighting the 2 fronts. One is facing Israel, and the other one is facing Syria, and fearing that any Syrian intervention inside Lebanon would definitely hit its back, and it would say in any way the home front would be hit by the Syrians, and this would definitely be a signal to Hezbollah that he has to concentrate on what is left.
Right.
Now, there's a third front that Hezbollah is fighting, and this, in my view, is the most important front, and this is who's sovereign in Lebanon. The Iranian ambassador issue is very painful to the Lebanese establishment. I mean, the Iranian ambassador has refused to leave Lebanon, and Hezbollah has said that it's going to protect the Iranian ambassador. So, I mean, despite all the intentions of the Lebanese government, this is another proof of its failure and of its, I would say, impossible mission to rule the country. So this is where we are. Who is going to be sovereign in Lebanon? Who is sovereign in Lebanon? Is it Hezbollah or the Shiite community together with Nabi Berri? Or is it the Lebanese legal government? Right now, this is an issue that is disputed, and I don't think that we have a clear cut right now. I think that right now Hezbollah is with the upper hand versus the Lebanese government.
All right, Jacques, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us. There's one just last question that I want to ask you, actually, before I say goodbye, and that is what we've seen in terms of the relationship between Syria and Israel amidst this war. Obviously, we saw Lebanon saying that they would even like to come to the table for discussions, potentially with Israel over the issue with Hezbollah. When it comes to, talks of potential peace deal or some type of agreement with Syria, would you say that this war is bringing Israel closer to Syria and making that happen?
I think this is an opportunity that we don't have to miss, and we cannot miss that. Because I mean, this is a junction in history that we have to adopt and say that we have to create a situation where not only we talk with the Syrians, we've been meeting them since a year and a half already. We've been talking to them, but we are supposed to reach with them a security arrangement. This security arrangement could include in one of its paragraphs dealing with Hezbollah and dealing with Daesh, dealing with the jihadists. I think that this is what we have to concentrate on. And I think that only yesterday we had the proof that we can, in a way, work with the Syrians. We had this commando troops that just went into Syrian territory in the Hamon area, and then from there downwards towards Lebanon and acted against a target inside Lebanon. So this is definitely a field of cooperation, and I believe that without going into too much detail, that something is going on between the two.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank you, Jacques, so much for joining us. Unfortunately, we have to go out for a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. We're going to be back on i24 News shortly.